Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. Well, in case many of you have, I guess many of you may not have heard, I only seen about maybe 1 or 2 videos on this, and it turns out that Anthony Joshua has been awarded a ranking by the WBC, which is number 3. He's ranked behind only Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury, who are both in the first 2 slots now. Now, this is quite interesting in a way. Well, actually, it's not interesting because given the fact that Joshua has lost his titles, he will be awarded a ranking by the respectable sanction bodies, not only by the WBC, but I'm not sure about the other ones. I think the WBL, the IBF, and the WBA, I'm not sure if they ranked him yet, but that's yet to be told. I guess given the status of the rematch situation, they probably going to hold out on that until otherwise. But needless to say, he's got the number 3 ranking, which is a unique which is kind of unique because given that Deontay Wilder is the WBC champion, he could fight his way into that mandatory position, but given the fact that the WBC mandatory position has already been fulfilled by Wilder a few weeks ago, and Dillian Whyte should be next in line if he's gets past Oscar Rivas, that would take until another year. So Joshua could wait about a couple 2 years or so to get a shot at Wilder if he decides, if he doesn't pick up another belt. But who knows, man? Who knows? all I can tell you is that given the fact that he lost to Andy Ruiz, it does set things back for maybe a longer stretches of time. But if you ask me personally, I just think that given the injuries and the beating that he took from Andy Ruiz and the beating that he took from Klitschko and the semi beating that he took from Povetkin, and and somewhat getting hit up by Dillian Whyte in their domestic level fight, I'm not sure Joshua is going to last long, to be honest with you. The reason why I say that is because I know I'm drifting off to a different point, but let me just drift off to this different point a little bit, and I get back to the original one. The reason why I say that is because, one, I do agree with some of the uploaders that his career was rushed extremely fast, comparable to Fernando Vargas. All right, and I've always said this, I'll be very consistent here, is that even if you win a title in your 3rd or 4th pro fight, the standards of you being a world champion is already set. They're going to expect you to defend it against all comers. There is no baby steps. There isn't taking your time. The public is not going to want to bear with that. This is what the similar criticism I had with Deontay Wilder when he won that title from Stavern, and he was somewhat taking semi-baby steps a little bit, but given the fact that his level of opposition weren't quite as bad as they were made out to be. But the fact is that when he came out and said that I'm going to take my time before I even consider a Klitschko fight. If Klitschko want to fight me, he's got to fight me on my terms. Yeah, I was pissed off at Wilder for doing that because that was a sign of a duck. He wasn't like rushing to get in with Klitschko at that time, and I was very pissed off about that with Wilder. But needless to say, though, guys like Jeff Fenech, guys like Vasily Lomachenko, guys like Asuma Nelson. All those guys who won, Vander Holyfield, I should say, they've all won, when they won their titles in short periods of time, they've all went in there and fought top level opponents since then. And to be fair, not to say they did it on a consistent basis. At some point and sometime in their careers, they did fight low level opposition. They did. But in case of Fernando Vargas and Anthony Joshua, they were just consistently fighting top level opponents fight after they won their first world title. And yeah, you could say Fritz Vanderpool and Eric Molina. I will somewhat argue that Eric Molina is a better fighter than Fritz Vanderpool, who Fernando Vargas fought in between after he lost to Felix Trinidad to capture the vacant WBA light middleweight title. But anyhow, I just think that Joshua just needs to really take some time off before he gets back in the ring. I think he needs a year off or two to kind of recover from his wounds. Honestly, I really believe that. I know some of his fanboys are not going to be happy when I say that, but to me, I don't think they really care about his well-being. I think they just care about the fact that they want him to regain his title so that way he can remain relevant in the heavyweight scene. And let's be realistic here. your health becomes your health over wealth. That's what I always say. Your health comes first before any type of wealth or money or any type of status. Okay, the titles are always going to be there for Joshua, as one uploader has said, and Hatman Strikes Back. Shout out to him. I agree with what he says. He's like, look, you know, the title's always going to be there. You're going to have to just take your time, go back to your, go back to the fundamentals and just regress from there, you know, or not regress, then progress from there. You're going to have to go back to the fundamentals and take your time, just like how Lennox Lewis did with Oliver McCall. You know, even though his manager at the time, Frank Maloney wanted to get him an immediate rematch with McCall. Of course, that didn't come off. Lewis had to rebuild, and it was a good thing for him because he needed to work on his flaws. He needed to work on his, on the basic fundamentals when he got with Manuel Stewart, and it paid off for him. I think Joshua needs to go the same route, to be honest with you. But anyhow, needlessly, get back to the original point. The original point is that now Joshua's got a number 3 ranking by the WBC. What I've noticed is that he has yet to enroll in the clean boxing program. Now, he just got ranked, so let's not, not go overboard with this. To be fair, Philip Herkovich and Michael Hunter just received a ranking as well by the WBC, and they all, including Anthony Joshua, has at least, I think from the time they got ranked, they have 15 days from that day to enroll. Otherwise, if they don't enroll, particularly Anthony Joshua, if he does not enroll in the clean boxing program from the time 15 days from the time that he received his ranking, he will be dropped, and I'll have to consider that very suspect, to be honest with you. I'm keeping it real. It's going to be extremely suspect if he doesn't enroll in the clean boxing program. So I'll definitely going to be keeping an eye out on that. To be fair, to be real, I should say, I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on that. But anyhow, let me know what your thoughts about this ranking. Do you think he would enroll in the clean boxing program? Hopefully he does. Or do you agree with my assessment that he should not? He should take his time and just fight in WBC sanctioned fights against low level opposition or in the rankings. Well, actually, if you look at the rankings, not many of them are low level. They're pretty high level contenders or mid to high level contenders in WBC, because that's a stacked ranking in that sanctioned body. Even though they're corrupt, but they do have some great fighters some very good fighters ranked in there. So anyhow, let me know what you guys thoughts about this. I'm out. Peace.